other hidden corporate secrets?
I think let them be dug with the HR team itself.
Very politically correct answer. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our exciting show, Naukriyan Guftagu. I am your lively host, Sesha Namdev, and we are thrilled to have you here. Today, we have an amazing guest. She is originally from Jabalpur, a cultural hub in Madhya Pradesh. She has got a degree in commerce and specialized in labor's law and welfare. By day, she is an executive HR in a big American company in Bangalore. She has seen it all, working in IT consulting, manufacturing, and IT services. But here is the coolest part. She is not just a wonderful HR, but she is also a ISO certified soft skills trainer and runs Elite Colas, an online platform that helps people to be more confident, just like you. Beyond work, she is a sports lover and a trained dancer. She has even co authored a book called Deep Thinking for Thinkers. With such a fantastic background, our guest today is here to share her wisdom and stories with us. So get ready to be inspired as we jump into the world of Miss Anjali Pathak. Dear audience, we are in for a treat today as we delve into the fascinating world of human resources with our remarkable guest, Miss Anjali Pathak. Anjali, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's great great, I'm here.
We are really excited. So let's jump right in. Anjali, employee onboarding and orientation are really crucial for ensuring that new team members smoothly integrate into a company's culture. So, from a HR point of view, how do you achieve that?
So, firstly, one thing that I would like to really say about onboarding part is that because onboarding is such a thing that I personally do that on a day-to-day basis in my companies, and I have been doing that from the starting of my career itself. So, firstly, onboarding is not only related to collecting the documents and preparing the offer letter, but if you see this whole process, it's something, other perspective that it also holds some personal touch as well, because the person who is doing the onboarding part, and especially if you see this whole process also, so that person not only, collects the data and everything or maintains the filing part and all, but that person also plays a role of kind of a, you can say, brand ambassador of that company, because ultimately they become the face for the new employees. So if a new joinee, if they are comfortable with you, so somewhere or the other, on their first day of joining, they feel little relaxed, and they just feel that yes, they are at the right place. Also, I would like to add here is that the process of the be it your orientation program, be it your onboarding process and all, so there are many companies that have fully automated that particular process. So they don't even ask the to bring any particular file or any particular document to your onboarding part on the first day. They'll just give you one link to just upload all these documents, and your onboarding is done. Within minutes the onboarding is done. But on the other hand, if I can say, there are still many companies in the corporates that are still somewhere using the conventional way of the methods, like filing part, documentation part. But so ultimately, if I can sum up this particular part of orientation and the onboarding part, it defines the company culture to that particular new joinee, I would say.
Right. And it is like a connect between the employee and the company.
Exactly. So that person who is doing the onboarding, they should be really empathetic, I would say, towards the new joinee, because you are the first filter for the new joinee, who is introducing to the company cultures of yours.
That's true. That's true. Wonderful. It's a very well-rounded approach indeed. This is what I can say. So now, Anjali, what is the most exciting development or advancement is happening in the HR industry right now? Our audiences are really, because of the AI, because of the various changes in the technology, audiences are sometimes they do struggle that AI हमारा job खा जाएगा kind of. So what is your take on it?
yes, I mean, without a second thought, I would say the most advanced development that is happening not only in HR, but I would say in all the industries is definitely AI only. But here the thing is that, people have to understand that, if you are an HR, ultimately you are dealing with the humans here. And humans are dealt always with empathy and emotion. So, just for an instance, I would say, I mean, just an example, if I would like to say here is that we sometimes, HRs have to take very tough decisions. Like we have to take very tough calls sometimes, like terminating a person or an employee from the system. What if that person, just starts crying in front of you, or, they are telling their some mishappenings or some misfortunes in their background? You never know what is going on in the background, right? So these kind of situations, and on a humanitarian ground, they are always dealt with empathy and emotions, right? On the same time, being an HR, you have to tell them that, this is not the end, and you have to lead them to see the brighter side of the things, rather than, demotivating that person, right? So all these emotions, all these understandings, you cannot instill in any of the AI tool, in any of the technologies, because ultimately that is the human thing that we have to do from our end. But of course, I mean, AI, I would say, will definitely be a very strong supporting hand for all the HR professionals ultimately, for, I would say, a very smoother function of the HR role, and it will always, help to reduce the manual or the labor work of the HR that we are bound or tend to do from ages, right? So it will be more approached or standardized way of doing the work if if it comes to the HR team. But yes, so I mean, if I just sum up or round up this thing, is that so, AI will definitely be kind of a facilitator rather than being a comprehensive solution, I would say, for everything. So,
Right.
giving data driven insights, when you combine with a human action, it will definitely turn out to be, something great results it will give you.
Perfect, perfect, Anjali. It is like AI is like a tool, and we have to embrace the AI,
Yes,
understand it, make yourself skilled how to
yes,
use AI for
yes.
your to improve your efficiency.
Yeah, ultimately, it's just you cannot lose that human part inside of you.
Exactly. So this is actually a game changer,
Yeah.
Anjali. This is what I can say. So let's switch gears a bit. If you were to craft an HR themed haiku, what would it be?
Haiku for HR, okay. um, I would say, okay, let me just frame it to three simple sentences here. So, if I were to write a book on HR about everything I've seen, I'd be both rich as well as fired at the same time. I mean,
Great.
this is the perfect haiku I can think of for HR.
I understand. One of our speakers, guest speakers, Mr. Vishnu Saraswat,
Mhm.
he gave a beautiful analogy. The job of an HR is just like a husband who has to manage his mother, just like the management, and he
Yeah,
has to manage his wife as well, like the employees. So
employee.
they have like very roller coaster ride all the time.
Exactly. I mean, this is just if you get it as an HR.
Actually, beautiful, beautiful. So, what about the growth? What skills you would love to learn in the future for your professional development or personal development? Or what do you suggest our audience to work and focus
Mhm.
more on?
So, not only one skill I would like to highlight over here, but there are two skills which are very important if you see from the growth perspective of an HR as an individual. Those I would highlight here is firstly the HR analytics part, and secondly the learning and development part of the HR field.
Right.
So why I'm focusing on the analytics part is because now, you cannot see an HR just as a problem solver or as a legal advisor to the company, right? But HRs are also, coming into the business partnering role of the, whole field and in the corporate world.
Mm,
We have been, using this term or this designation as the human resource business partner, which is known as the HRBP. So we are also entering into the business partnering role of the HR field. And when business comes into play, automatically, you'll have to play with numbers, you'll have to deal with the data and everything. And because of that, learning analytics is a very great choice if you have to, excel in the field for the future. Because even if you check the, on a day-to-day basis, if we go for the attrition rate that we call upon, right? For that also, ultimately, you need the data. Even if you're doing the onboarding part, how many onboardings are there, what could be the forecasting for the next month or the next quarter, all these are, you cannot do all these things manually, those days are gone. But thing are, you have to approach in a more standardized way, in a more data driven way, right? So for this, I mean, HR analytics is great thing. Second thing is the learning and development, as I mentioned. So every company, we cannot rely on the conventional methods. You always have to, approach in a much interesting way to your employees. You'll have to give them the skill development training for each and every department. For that, I think learning and development is a thing, in which you can explore, you can invent your own methodologies in that particular path, I would say, according to the needs and requirements of your own organization. And I am little interested in this part is because, so I myself is a trained soft skills trainer. So for that, I think, deep down, I have that passion of, training and teaching. And I have done this thing in past also. So yeah, I think learning and development is great, but only for those who have that little passion or interest in the training part.
That's true. That's true. So it's like a beautiful explanation. Anjali, this is what I can say. Like our audience must have been gone through this. Like just like the money is the blood of the business, and
Exactly.
data is the it's like blood for the HR professions or all the professions out there.
Exactly.
So we all need to work on data analytics and the problem solving skills.
Yeah, I mean, HRs will be seen as a whole new, phase in the future. If you just, search or, if you just learn the skill of analytics, then.
Great, great, wonderful. It's a very, very balanced answer. So lastly, if you could grant every employee one superpower, what would it be and why?
Superpower. Okay. So, there's one skill. Okay. I would term it as a superpower only because, I mean, though it will sound very common that, okay, this is just a skill. But ultimately, if you check from the corporate side and if you check the company trends which are going on right now, the superpower I would give to employees will be the communication skill and the personal branding of the employees.
Wow.
Not just the employee, because communication is a thing that no matter, irrespective of the field, irrespective of the position you are working in, communication is such a thing that will help you in long term. Because if you're not able to present yourself, then your skills, your technical knowledge comes to waste. Ultimately, even if you're giving an interview, somewhere or the other, you have to give that theoretical thing also. They will not always tell you to do the coding part or, to do the technical part. In past, I have seen myself, where I was directly working with my clients on their requirements. Okay. So their basic requirement was always that, Anjali, just check that person's communication skill. We are okay if that person is, average also in the technical part, but his communication should be very strong. So even if that technical person needs to have a very strong communication skill. Secondly, the term that I used here was of personal branding. Personal branding is nothing, it's kind of, how you're presenting, how you're showcasing yourself in the public place. So understanding these two things and combining these two things, I mean, this is definitely a superpower I would like to give to people.
This is something which is I called a top-notch answer for the superpower.
Exactly.
Nothing can be better than the perfect communication skill and personal branding.
Exactly.
So, what do you think? Like, which kind of companies, like, like the service-based companies or the product-based companies, which companies are valuing more, the communication skills or the technical skills? Or, like,
Uh,
can you please guide, because you are from the HR team and you can guide the audience?
So, see, it always depends upon that person. Okay, that firstly, it is a choice. Okay, and the requirement of that particular person to, understand that part whether they want to go into a service-based company or a, product-based company. As I told here in the previous question itself about communication and the personal branding thing. So it also comes, the personal branding thing also comes with the kind of understanding you have, right, in the particular field. Because ultimately, I would say it is more like a personal competency mapping, I would say over here. Competency mapping is nothing, it's just, how you are taking your career and how you want your career to look like. It's not that you are just seeking that, okay, product based companies pay more, so I should just shift to the product based company, or service based companies have more work than compared to the product based companies. So it's not like that. Communication and these all skills, they are needed at each and every I would say the kind of company you're going, or the domain of company you're going to. But it's just the distinguishes between what kind of career you want for yourself in the future. So communication, as I told, irrespective of the field you are working, irrespective of the domain you are working in, it is a very essential skill you have to learn, and you have to be able to present yourself in front of the person. You just think that if you want to go to into a product based company, but what if you're not able to present there yourself? Because mostly the product based companies are the startups only for today. So you have to prove, you have to be able to communicate each and every process very precisely, very clearly. So you have to be presentable at each and every step. If you talk about the service based company, many of the service based company, they are like very old companies, the old players, I would say, in the market. But there also, because things are changing so rapidly, so of course you'll have to be able to communicate. If you're in a service based company, there are many clients associated to your companies, right? So we have seen situations where client is rejecting you just because on the basis of your communication skill, because that person is having a poor communication. So it doesn't depend upon the company or the domain you are working, but it only it's your personal choice in which domain you have to work. But yeah, this skill you have to work on. I mean, you can't have a choice on that learning part of the skill.
Perfect, perfect, Anjali. So, Anjali, there is a quick rapid fire round, and you need to just give answer in one sentence, okay?
Okay.
So, the first word is retention.
Retention, incentives.
Focus on work.
Focus on work, I would say, should always be on the macro level of your work rather than juggling into the micro level of your day-to-day works.
That's great. What are the hidden corporate secrets?
I think let them be dug with the HR team itself.
Very politically correct answer. Feedbacks.
Analyze and implement.
Balance.
Balance, I would say, try working up to your maximum capacities and within your working hours only. Hence, I think learning time management skills. Balance is all about learning time management.
Great, great. And prioritizing your work. Wonderful.
Exactly.
Now you have to choose one out of two. For innovation challenge, what is important for you? Experiment or stick to proven methods?
Experiment.
Team members slacking. Should it be addressed privately or discussed openly?
Address privately.
What about the risky decisions? Take the chance or play it safe?
It's a very doubtful question, but yeah, I mean, I would go for take the chance. That's what I think the HRs are.
Yeah, actually, the calculated risk.
Yes, exactly.
What about the interdepartmental conflicts? You would like to intervene or let departments handle it by themselves?
Intervene.
Okay. Sudden change. Should it be adapt quickly or resist momentarily?
Adapt quickly. I mean, if we HRs are able to adapt, then only we'll be able to, pass on to the other resources in the company. So, I mean, yes, from the HR's point of view, you have to adapt quickly.
Thank you so much, Anjali. It was really, really great session with you. And thanks for sharing your insights and engaging in this intriguing conversation. I hope my audience would get a lot of insights and a clarity also, like creating your roadmap and then working on your skills,
Yes,
creating your choosing the right company, like
exactly.
according to your skills, and all the time keep your learning hats on.
Exactly. I mean, it was a very fun session for me, a new, experience for myself also for the future itself. And yeah, of course, I mean, I just hope the audience will get some great insights from this particular session.
Yeah, absolutely. I love to have another session with you very soon, Anjali.
Definitely looking forward for that.
Yeah, okay, bye bye. Thank you so
Okay.
much.